Oh, when I was working for that second shop that I was working for, Trig Electric was the name of it, the union started doing an organizing drive. And this is when the organizing just started back in 1986 or 1987. And so then I was introduced to the organizers, and we had some meetings, and I was ready to go union. And actually we had a meeting up at my house. Several members were present at that meeting, and they were talking about, we were just talking about going union, signing authorization cards and so forth and so on. And 2 weeks before the vote, there was a big layoff at the shop, and there was like, out of 40 guys, maybe 20 people were laid off 2 weeks before the vote to go union. And so one of the owners with that company told me about a shop that was hiring down near the airport named Power City. So I went from Trig Electric to Power City, and then there was a big vote, union vote, and blah, 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 blah. And then I went to work for Power City, and I talked to the organizers and was telling them, what happened then? Oh, the union wanted me to come in as an apprentice, and I was like 2.5 or 3 years into the program, and I said, no way, I'm not gonna come in and take a test, and you guys placed me all the way back in my first year. I've got 3 years worth of schooling, and there was a good non-union apprenticeship school at the time that I turned out. The non-union apprenticeships graduates were like a 93% pass on their journeyman exam the first time. That was the non-union apprenticeship standards. 93% passed the journeyman test the first time and went through that program. The union apprenticeship, it was like 78% passed the test the first time back then. That was back then. Things have changed considerably since then. But yeah. So anyways, I kept in contact with the organizers, and shoot, I had a couple of shops ready to sign over, man. And the organizers wouldn't come out. I don't know what they were doing. But then when I turned out as a journeyman, I went to the union and told them I wanted to get in. So it's a lot longer than that. But you know, as far as non-union goes, no, I don't know if I ever worked with a woman. And no. And that was 3.5 years. I never worked with a woman. And as far as the union goes, and I was just thinking about this the other day on my job, anyways, there's a wide diversity of ethnic minorities on our job. And it's a really good reflection upon our local, is to see that diversification.